Pinky in the building, repping orange and blue. Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. Hot take so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild side stride.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fabulous Tuesday. A little sports nonsense and whiskey, hanging with the fellas. Cody, Robert, Pinky. How we doing this fine evening, gentlemen?
What's up, boys?
I feel conflicted, Caleb. I feel very conflicted.
What did he say? I couldn't hear him.
I'm conflicted.
Oh, good. Okay, that'll make for good.
I'm conflicted about some of the things that are happening in the nerd world, and I just don't understand it. So I'm excited to talk about it with you guys and get your opinions. Cody, I love the hashtag. Phenomenal. 10 out of 10.
That's right.
Yeah. That's how I'm feeling, Caleb. I'm very conflicted right now.
All right. If that's how you guys are gonna be.
Hey, whoa! I'm excited. I'm excited for this sports talk.
I'm just excited. Whatever you got to do.
I'm excited to talk about nerd stuff with you guys. I'm just conflicted in my own personal self and how to feel. So I'm hoping you guys can give me some insight on what you think.
We'll do our best to give you the emotional support that you need.
All right, let's try that again. Before we get going, I got a little surprise for you guys this evening.
Oh boy!
Heck yeah, I love surprises.
Without further ado, I'd like to bring on a special guest.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the man, the myth, the legend.
What's up, Suds?
We just let anybody on the show these days, huh?
Only the handsome ones.
Hey, you want to see something really fun?
Oh no. Oh
Oh,
gee.
What the hell?
Oh my goodness.
Colorado, Suds.
Yeah.
That's
Where was
awesome.
the invite on that one? What's going on here? What's happening?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't think we could get all of us in one room together, so I thought this was the best option for the surprise.
Hey, if you make a plan, we'll make it
Is
happen.
that why I can hear him and his mic is muted?
Yes.
Yep.
Correct.
Amazing.
Nice.
Alrighty then. Well, welcome to the basement of Caleb's, and welcome to the show, Chase.
Solid.
Oh,
Now
lost
they're
them.
both muted.
Now they're both muted.
They're
I
both
didn't do
muted.
that.
Wasn't me.
Wasn't me.
Nope. Caleb, you're gone. Muted.
Both
We
muted.
can't hear you, Caleb. There you go.
It's because this kid over here doesn't know how to keep his hands off his shit. I apologize. It's going to be a fun show.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Oh Lord, we're in for it.
Yep.
Buckle up.
And we haven't even started drinking. Well, you guys
I-
haven't started
I
drinking.
Two for one on poking the bear and getting muted. This is going to be great.
This is
Heck
gonna be a
yeah.
show, ladies
man.
and gentlemen. This will be a show.
Cotton's a good guy. He might keep me centered.
I'm gonna live up to them initials on your hat today, Pinky. How you like that?
Ooh.
Ooh, nice. Let's go.
MJF's my guy, so yeah, let's rock. You got to talk some mad shit to get on that level, though.
Yeah, buddy.
Mad
I got
shit.
you. I got you. I'm ready. So,
All right.
that all being said, where are we heading today? What's the agenda? Some NFL, some college, some nonsense.
Well, I'm still fixing up the NFL talk, so why don't we try to solve the problem that is college football? And I actually went to my boss and chatted with him for a little bit to get his takes there's a lot of meat on the bone when it comes to what's wrong with college athletics. Tell the people, Caleb.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna pull up my little talking points that I believe could be fixed. But while I'm doing that, big news out of college football this week is the fact that judges are the most powerful voice in college football, college athletics at this current time, and they apparently hold all the power. Further, putting a spotlight on the fact that the NCAA is completely worthless and always has been, holds no legitimate power, makes decisions across the board without any true equality or fairness, corruption at the highest level. I mean, name them. The NCAA is a joke, and it has been. It's just finally being exposed for such. And now people are mad about it and want to go back to the old ways. And the get off my lawn crowd is strong with this conversation. Very strong with this conversation. So, between NIL and the transfer portal, everybody's up in arms. And now you've got kids who left and went to the NFL, have signed I call them kids, young men, who have gone to the NFL, signed a contract. I don't care if they're only in training camp. You still have to sign a contract with the NFL to participate in said practices. So you are now a professional. At that point in time, you should never be allowed to have another year of eligibility within college athletics. But that's where we are now. They're going back. And if you're Lane Kiffin, your reasoning for allowing these players on your team is because if they weren't on your team, they'd be on somebody else's team. Even though people could just not put them on their team. There's really easy solution to that. Sure, you have a 5th year of eligibility. Nobody's asking you to come back, though. Like, there's really simple ways to fix this that nobody's willing to do. So, I've got my own theories that we've kind of laid out before and discussed. But I'll go over them again, and then we can kind of, break them down, tell me what you like or dislike, what you guys might want to change. But here's what I believe are the basic building blocks of how college football specifically, but really college athletics in general, needs to fix and set as the new standard. So, 5 years of eligibility. That's it, period, end of story. You get 5 years, do with them what you want. No exceptions. That means no medical red shirts. Red shirts don't matter either. Okay, cool. You redshirt your freshman year, you got 4 years left. It's that simple. 5 years, use them how you want to. Every school will have the same fixed amount that their collective can top out at and then spend. The collectives are the school. Let's keep that in mind. The collective is the school. So you want to set an easy number to work with. Everybody gets $1 million. Spread that out your roster however you want to. Whatever percentages you want to give to whatever players, fine. I don't care. Once you hit $1 million, you're out. You're tapped out. You have no more to spend from your collective. Beyond that, athletes are free to then go get any deal they can get on their own with their own NIL. You want to have an agent, you want to go do a car lot commercial, you can get McDonald's, you can get Pepsi, you're doing your local loaf and jug. I don't care. Whatever you can get on your own for NIL, you can tap out as much as you want to. No limit on what you can do with your own NIL, period. Let's see here. Everyone gets 2 transfers available to them. That's it. You get 2. First one is free. You can transfer and play right away. You use a second transfer, you have to sit a year. You get a year of ineligibility before you're able to play again on that second transfer. Pinky?
I got a thought on my boss. Actually, we talked about that specific point. You get 1 transfer, it's free. You can use it for whatever reason. Second transfer, there has to be some type of event, whole coaching change, like something had to have occurred, and that becomes a free transfer.
I could get behind that.
I
could get behind that, but I would still want it to be a year out, regardless of situation changes or not. life sucks and it's hard. Sometimes you just have to deal with it. So I'm not a fan of just freely moving however you want to. And I know coaches can do that and stuff. A little bit different. Keep in mind, this has nothing to do with coaches right now. I got a whole other list. I'm not even going down on that. You get 2 transfers. Second one I've got is ineligible for a year. That does not change your 5 years of eligibility. You still only have 5 years. So if you play 4 and then you go to transfer, you don't have another year of eligibility you can play. So keep that in mind. If an athlete declares for a draft of any kind, signs any form of contract, or receives any form of compensation from a professional league, their eligibility is automatically void. No exceptions. Those are my 5 basic building blocks that all college athletics should then adopt immediately and move forward with.
I like it. To add to that transfer, there's only one transfer window. If you don't transfer within that window, oh well, you're stuck. You know, there's not this, oh, someone else transferred here, I'm going to go elsewhere. Oh well. You know, like there's no second transfer window. There's a transfer period and that's it. So that's my thoughts on that whole transfer situation, you know. And if you transfer outside that window, even if it's your first transfer, you lose a year. Take that risk.
Something has to change. And I tie into our nonsense a little bit and go Dark Knight. It's always darkest before the dawn. This old system has to be completely torn down if you ever expect something new to take its place. You can't piecemeal stuff together. You can't take some of the old system and think it's still going to work with the new. It has to completely be torn down, burned to ashes, so that it can rise again.
There definitely needs to be there needs to be a governing body, not the NCAA, and there needs to be guardrails in place. It's the Wild West, and like.
Well, and the NCAA has been such a corrupt organization for so long that you need a unbiased third party, like you said, Pinky.
Get this man a mic. He's saying good stuff.
I mean, come on now. NCAA has made their own rules, and it's like sometimes we'll play by our own rules, sometimes we'll make our own rules to suit the narrative that we're going for here, and it's simply not effective. And you have to have a third party in this situation that's unbiased, that is going to look out for the best of the players, the organization, the coaches, everything, man. Because the NCAA is, at the end of the day, going to do what's best for the NCAA,
period. Yeah, Robert.
What's your perspective from someone who's not a huge sports fan in the sense that you've been following this for years? You're more new to the scene since you've really started on the podcast with Pinky and I and developing that knowledge. What's that perspective for you as someone who's kind of new to the scene, if you will?
It stopped being about football a long time ago. And I think that also says a lot going into the NFL now too. And I think it hurts the professional world more for it, because they come in with all these high expectations of, oh, well, I've got this and I can do that. But then you go to the pros and then, oh, well, now I want to go use this extra year of eligibility and go back and be a college superstar again because it's the good old days. Like, it's kind of ridiculous and honestly pathetic. Like, I really don't know what else to say, because you really have ruined what college athletics was. Plain and simple. It's not about the sport, and it's not about what you can do as a team. It's who you are as an individual, and that's why now the Power 12 teams are who you're going to see consistently win. You're not going to see anything fun anymore, because there's just going to be this merry-go-round of trades in and out, in and out, in and out, and it just gets boring. Like, honestly, college football for me has become such a snooze fest because I just like, oh, hey, I really like this team. Oh, well, the team that I was watching is now all broken up because somebody got, paid because they all of a sudden had this stellar year and they wanted to go take that money elsewhere to go play for a bigger named team. It's just sickening.
Let me push back on that just a little bit and see what you think. Here's the flip side to the transfer coin that nobody seems to want to discuss. And when I bring up, people seem to shut down and move the topic somewhere else. Yeah, there's a lot of dudes who switch teams because they're going from Texas to Ohio State to Alabama, Alabama to Florida, Miami to whatever. But what about the guys who are going from McNeese State up to Michigan State? What about the guys going from Connecticut up to Florida State or Miami? And then they're able to finally say, yeah, I wasn't recruited. I wasn't a 5-star.
Yeah.
But I'm balling out now, and then I'm going to go prove myself on that upper tier division level and show that I am capable of playing at that. And there's just as many of those as there are guys going from one big name to the next big name.
And I don't necessarily, disagree with it. I just think it's been abused.
Absolutely, I will.
And that's the biggest issue with it.
I think we can all.
It's not.
That one, Robert.
It has taken, and I guess, and this is part of where, like, I was raised in a Michigan State household, so there were things that I will look forward to every year, and it's just like, I really could care less now. It's not what it was. And it's now all about money. Schools are trying to spread it all around, but then all of these athletes are getting paid out the ass. It's just not it for me anymore. I really just have a hard time enjoying it.
Let's be real. I mean, even before NIL deals, you look at like the Johnny Manziels and stuff like that. It's always been.
Caleb, check the messages.
It's always been about the money. Now it's just more at light and it's more at the forefront, and they're more transparent with how that money is actually funneled, as opposed to a suitcase full of cash. It's very different. But to Caleb's point and your point of getting back to more of the fundamental college football, you look at Deion Sanders' team before he came to CU, right? Those guys, none of those guys are D1 guys. He got an opportunity. He brought the entire team. They got an opportunity. They moved up to a level that they should have played at. And same thing here. You have a guy that's balling out at San Jose State, and now he wants to go play at USC because he's earned it. That's how it should be, right?
Absolutely.
But now it's getting to just be a circus clown show. Like, at this point, I want to see Reggie Bush go back to USC and he's going to get a criminal justice major, and he's going to go ball out, and he's going to get his Heisman back, and he's going to be like, see, guys, this is stupid and ridiculous. What are we doing?
And yeah. And that's the whole, like, joke of it, right? Is, like, honestly, like, that could be a Netflix show in 2 years. Like, and that's
trademarking it, Robert.
Do it. Hey, we got a story. Let's take it to him. Let's do it.
It happened here first.
Right here, right now.
Basement. No one knows.
I don't know, as a college football fan, how you even know who's on your team anymore.
Like, right. Not only that, and this is part of what I struggle with is, a lot of colleges all pride themselves on loyalty. That's the name of the game. Well, you're not really getting any loyalty out of your athletics anymore. So what am I to be loyal to if I'm not getting just the program, the name? Like, that, it's not enough. Like,
well, I think that goes even deeper, dude, because you're talking about 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old kids, and they might have supreme loyalty to the coach, that brought them to that program. And then all of a sudden someone else is like, hey, here's $1 million. And they're like, well, that coach is great, but my family needs that $1 million. I'm going to
Sure.
bail on this. It's not like they're offering it to a 30-year-old guy that's been in the NFL that's like, I want to end my career here. This
Right.
is just a stepping stone to the professionals. And we're going backwards. This is professionals that can't make it are going to go back to try and get back. And they lost their time, right? We've already talked about that.
Well, and that's the thing is like right now it's the Wild West. So at some point this market, quote unquote, is gonna crash. There's gonna be something where you're gonna hit a ceiling, and then all of this is at some point all for nothing. And you know, you all talk about all these different ideas and things, and part of me is also like, you know, if you committed to this school, some of that money that you're taking should also in some part be going back to the school that you're playing for. I mean, I just feel that that's right at the end of the day, because you the foundation that's letting you play and show off your skills. I don't know.
That's a tough one for me as someone that works in the entertainment industry, because those schools are making hand over fist more money in percentage than those players are making. The amount of merchandise sales, the amount of alcohol sales, the amount of ticket sales, everything else far encompasses what a player on a high level in NAL is making. And so at that point, the players have to be like, well, I need, 1% of the bar on this sale. And they're like, absolutely not. You've lost your fucking mind. So where do you draw that line, right? In the sand, where this is yours, this is mine, this goes back to the school, this goes here. It's tough. And like you said, it's the wild, wild west. They got to figure it out.
Is this still college athletics, or is this actually minor league sports now?
It's minor league sports, hands down.
It's both. It always has been. Nobody wants to recognize it. The only difference is the athletes are now getting a cut of the pie. Where before, it was the man holding them down and telling them what they could and could not do. So think about it this way. If the NCAA, the moment O'Bannon, and if you don't know O'Bannon, I believe his first name is Ed, if I'm remembering correctly. He won a championship with the UCLA men's basketball team back in like 96 or 7, something like that. Two brothers, the O'Bannon twins, if I remember correctly. But one of them decided to take the NCAA to court. And that's what started all of this. The moment the NCAA lost that court case, shit hit the fan. And all the NCAA had to do at that time was allow players to use their own NIL to get paid. That's it. Had they said, Mr. O'Bannon, you can go get your agent and you can go get any commercial you want to with your own name, image, and likeness, we're good. This probably would have died there. That would have been the end of this, and nothing else would have changed. Except for you would have been seeing all these dudes in commercials getting paid. That would have been the end of it, I believe. The NCAA wanted to hold on to their power. They wanted to hold on to their control. And it blew up in their face. Because the moment it was questioned and an actual judicial system saw it, they said none of this is legal. You're telling regular students without any scholarships or anything, they can come to school here. Now, I take that back. Regular students that do have scholarships, they're just not athletes, can come to school here and they can use their name, image, and likeness, and they can go get a job or do whatever they want. But if an athlete does it, it's not okay. Because the NCAA did not treat every student the same, it blew up in their face. And people want to be mad at the kids, the young men and women who were treated unjustly, who are now taking advantage of the system that the NCAA created, instead of being mad at the people who created the system that allowed this to happen. And that will forever be the crux of the argument, that if you don't agree with that point, I can't have a conversation with you. Because you truly believe they only deserve their free room and board. They're getting an education. Like, that's a joke. It's an absolute joke. And if you can't willingly admit that, I can't have a conversation past that because there's never going to be a common ground to start from.
And to expand on that, I went on scholarship for music. I made zero income for the university. And listen, I should have the same abilities to go do that. I shouldn't have the same restrictions as the guy that plays on the football team. And I don't. So why do they? That doesn't make it. They're actually making money for the university. I'm the guy blowing the freaking trumpet on the sideline, not bringing any money. But they can't get any money? Are you kidding me? Give me a break.
Fair points. I think we need to get Cody back in this conversation. He's been silent for a while. You ready to talk about something, Cody?
Bro, I want to bring up something.
All right.
How sad for the 49ers owner, bro. Because you got caught. And you should have known the signs that it was a sting. And you still did it anyway.
Dirt cheap beats, and they're done dirt cheap. Dirt cheap beats.
And they made when it was Robert Kraft getting busted at the massage parlor. It was a big old ordeal. Big old deal. No one, it's been brought up a few times, but what are they going to do? Give him a slap on the wrist, Don't do that again. Don't get caught again, dummy, I was just like, when I heard it, I was just like, oh my gosh, what an idiot. And why? You have all the money in the world for $140,
Money don't change your intelligence, son.
So, but yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. But do we have any other NFL topics? Any thoughts from you fellas?
Well, that's the smoothest transition we've ever had from one subject to the next.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Well, the show is the main topic on the headline is NFL's most overrated players. I'm gonna go a step farther. We're just talking quarterbacks. Most overrated quarterbacks. I found a couple lists out there. Most of them are very similar. A lot of the same names popped up. So those are the guys we're talking about. And I'll bring up a graphic. Let me share my screen.
Before we move forward, are you wearing a Bobby Boucher jersey?
That's right.
Gatorade's better.
You remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and the Cougars won the Bourbon Bowl?
That's classic.
Heck yeah, good catch. Good catch there, Caleb.
Good old Bobby Boucher.
I already knew, so I didn't have to ask, but yeah, good one. Good one. Number 9, it's a dead giveaway. All right. Starting out, and this is in no particular order. This is just overrated NFL quarterbacks. Jared Goff. Is he overrated, or is he kind of right where he should be? Getting love.
I'd argue he's underrated.
Underrated.
If I remember
okay.
correctly, he's thrown for the most yards and touchdowns in the last 3 years since he joined the Lions, or he's right up there with those two categories.
Robert, look that up.
I would agree with that. And he's also in a run-heavy offense. I mean,
Yep.
if he
what
has
was the stat
another
I'm looking
weapon
up for
other
Jared
than
Goff?
St. Brown, I mean, he's got Laporta, but that's not a big weapon.
It will be this year.
It might be. We'll see. Thanks for giving me an insight into your fantasy picks, Caleb. But
They never work
honestly,
out.
outside of St. Brown, he hasn't had a lot of other studs to throw to. In a run-heavy offense, I think he's an underrated player.
What was the stat?
if I remember correctly, and I could be off here, but I believe he's first in yards and touchdowns over the last 3 years or since he joined the Lions. High completion percentage. Now, Pinky will say, and to an extent, rightfully so, and I always push back on this a little bit, but I understand where he's coming from.
First in passing yards, second in passing touchdowns.
Okay. So right
Wow,
there.
okay.
Right? Like, he's got to be protected. He's not the mobile quarterback or a running quarterback. He is a pocket passer by the truest sense of the word. So if he's not protected, things can break down quickly. He's not going to be the guy that's going to extend the play in that normal sense. So in that regard, the offense has to be catered to that skill set. But, you know, not very many quarterbacks are going to be doing well if their offensive line is protecting them. So there's a give and take with that.
I don't
Pinky,
even know
where
where
do you stand on Goff?
I like him. He's still a lot of quarterbacks do, and I wouldn't put him in the elite category, but he does fall pretty good under pressure. Like I think that's where that for me that's what really separates the elite guys from the really good guys is guys who can still be at the top of their game even under pressure. And there's moments where you put pressure on him, you heat him up. He's throwing the ball quick. He's throwing it inaccurate. And again, a lot of quarterbacks do that. And that's what kind of keeps him from being elite. But he is probably not overrated. I think I would probably give Caleb the thumbs up that he is underrated. He's not appreciated enough.
Yep.
For a guy who's thrown the most passing yards in the last 3 years. All right.
Rants on number 1. I love it.
Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. Jalen Hurts.
I don't want to go first.
I'll go first. I don't mind.
I mean,
I'll do this. Not overrated. Not overrated. And a lot of that for me is going to be what he did in the biggest moments when the lights are the brightest. So people can say whatever they want about regular season and this, that, and the other. He arguably has outplayed Patrick Mahomes in both the Super Bowls that they played against each other. So you want to call Patrick Mahomes the best guy in the game? We're right up there. This man, when the lights were the brightest, had better games than Patrick Mahomes. Arguably, depending on how you want to look at it. You're not going to say worse. Worst case, you're going to say they were right there with each other.
It's not an argument. It's a damn fact.
you're right.
I like it, Pinky. I like it. So, that being said, I'm really not going to be too concerned with the regular season statistics. Yes, they are lower and not as consistent as I would like to see them. But by no means am I going to say this dude is overrated when he has done what he's done when those lights are the brightest. That holds so much weight in my opinion. And the fact that people are trying to dismiss that and say, well, he doesn't perform in the regular season. Well, they get to the playoffs, they get to Super Bowls, and he balls out. So I can't see how people can literally look at him and say he's overrated.
All right, I'm going second. Caleb, I don't disagree with anything that you said there. However, you did talk about the regular season. And Jalen Hurts doesn't show up a lot of times in regular season when he should. And as a guy that loves to bet spreads and is like, oh, this is an easy one for Jalen Hurts, there's so many times that the dude just mails it in. And it's obvious. And listen, he is the caliber player that when the lights are the brightest in the biggest moments, he can step up to that. But you want to compare him to someone like a Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes plays 100% no matter who he's playing. Jalen Hurts mails it in. If he's not playing well during the regular season, it's like, well, we'll try again next week. And to me, someone like a Patrick Mahomes, a Tom Brady, a Peyton Manning would never do that. And we're talking elite quarterbacks. Come on now. There are some times that he is highly overrated. But if we're going to talk playoffs, when it matters the most, I'm pretty comfortable with him under center. But is he a little overrated? Absolutely.
All right, let me caveat this ever so slightly real quick, then you guys jump in. If someone's calling him a top 5 quarterback, then yes, I would go into that scenario saying he is a little bit overrated because I don't have him on that level. There is that upper tier of the names we all know, and then there's a gap, and then there's that next group. And I would have no problem putting him in the bottom end of that second group. But if you're trying to put him into that top tier, then yes, I would have to say he's overrated in that sense. But where I see him and where I rank him within everywhere, that's where I'm coming from, is not being overrated.
Well, and he's been such a offensively high-powered team. This is not just him. There's a lot of other guys making plays. But it's easy to give him all the praise when everything goes great. But, you know, when Saquon's fucking hurdling people backwards and goes and scores touchdowns and everybody else does, they're still pointing at Jalen Hurts like, he did it. And it's like, yeah, he contributed on a great team. But if you compare him to a Jared Goff has to step up and put a lot of that team on his back. He's got a whole squad of great players that are surrounding him that make him look better. That's where the difference is for me.
This conversation might be 2 years late. I feel like there was a lot of hype around him 2 years ago coming off that Super Bowl MVP, and he's had 2 kind of down performances where he hasn't played his best, or maybe it was, 2 years. 2 years worth. I think he is, at this point, overrated. I think his play has not been good enough these last 2 seasons after that Super Bowl.
Agreed.
At least
Who's
Cody
next?
or Robert, you guys can chime in, or we can go to the next guy.
I don't
I
have
agree.
An
I
opinion
agree
on
with
this.
you. I agree with your take there, Pinky, and I agree with Caleb as well. He's not elite. He's good, but not great. He's definitely a top 10 quarterback. Like, I would easily put him in the top 10, probably in that bottom, that 8 through 10 area. But he's definitely in the top 10 for me. But yeah, ever since that Super Bowl season, you know, he had Saquon rushing for 2K, you know, in that year, I believe. And I believe, did the OC leave after that year?
So he's had 6 different OCs since he's been in the league.
Yeah,
So
Thank you for bringing it up, Robert.
you
Yep.
can't.
That's a great
It's
point.
hard to like. I feel on that
It's
alone.
definitely hard to
he can't be
transition.
overrated. Like
Yeah,
he keeps a pretty consistent game.
yeah, he did lose Kellen Moore off that Super Bowl year, and he hasn't really been the same. That offense changed, and it's just been in flux ever since.
So Cody, what's your vote? We got two overrated, two not overrated.
I'd say he is where he is. He's right where he should be, but I would probably lean slightly
cop-outs
on
here,
the
Cody.
underrated side. On the underrated side,
All right, then
but
he is
real
not.
slightly.
He is not overrated.
He's not overrated.
Jordan Love. Caleb's already.
Overrated.
Pinky, go first.
You want me to go first? Well, now are we taking everything else into play? Because I would argue that his offensive playmakers on the Packers are not great. For a lot of his career, he's had a grouping of number 2 and 3 receivers, and not a dominant one, and still put up pretty good numbers. So he is not overrated.
What are pretty good numbers
Doesn't he only have one
as a
playoff win?
passer?
It's not all about
I got him.
playoff wins, Robert. It's still a team sport. Quarterback doesn't win it by themselves.
And I would differ. You got Tucker Kraft, who was balling out, on the Packers until he tore
was hurt.
his ACL.
Yeah.
And then
What week was
when he
that?
went down,
What week was that, Cody?
I believe it was week 9 or 10.
So he had him for half the
And-
season?
Half the season, he was balling because Tucker Kraft was putting up numbers and being that true number 1 option in that offense. So he didn't really need a number 1 wide receiver when he got a number 1 tight end. And, and then once Tucker Kraft got hurt, it kind of went downhill from there. But I would say he is slightly overrated, though. Just because there's times, if you're underrated and you lose your number 1 option, you should still be balling. You should still be finding a way, in my opinion. Yeah, it changes the offense, but you got to find a way to be great.
All right, so here's the stats. I'll give you the last 3 years because that's where he's been starting. Completion percentage. Completion percentage last 3 years. Starting from 2003 forward. 64, 63, 66.
That's good.
Yards.
Right?
Good night. That's upper echelon. That's upper echelon NFL.
I'll take the 66.
Passing yards, 4,100, 3,300, 3,300. Touchdowns, 32, 25, 23. Interceptions, 11, 11, 6.
I like that 6.
None of those jump off the page as being elite. None of those jump off the page as saying he's not overrated. But I will very much say he's not overrated. I believe he's got the capability of playing at an MVP level. I think we've seen flashes of that. I think he's got an issue with getting nicked up a little bit, which has cost him some time. And then exactly what Pinky said. What he's throwing to, nobody seems to want to really discuss when they bring him up. Now, some of that's fair, because if you're supposed to be elite, you're supposed to raise the dudes around you. I don't think the problem necessarily has been the skill set of his weapons. I think it's the fact that none of the weapons are in 1 week to the next.
Yep.
Christian Watson is number 1, has consistently been out. Reed consistently been out. Wicks was consistently out. Kraft went out. Musgrave was out. He is consistently missing weapons. Now, they brought in Josh Jacobs with the run game. That looked like it was going well. You get injuries there as well. So, if they can't expect his weapons to stay on the field, regardless of whether you think they're 1s or 2s, you can't expect the quarterback to continuously play at a high level.
That's fair. That's fair. He definitely has not had consistent weapons at his disposal. However, when he has, it's been completely hit or miss. It's like he is balling or he is shit in the bed. And there's not a lot of in between, it seems like to me. And again, you look at elite quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, for example. That wide receiver room, circulating, people going to jail, people all over the place. And it doesn't fucking matter. He finds the open man because he's an elite quarterback. People try to talk about Jordan Love like that. He can't find him because he's not elite.
Well,
Just
we've
my
got
thought.
two overrated, two underrated. Robert, you're the
You
deciding
gotta break
vote
the
here.
tie.
Oh, jeez.
It's on you, baby.
I mean, I think he's overrated. I really don't think he's done a whole lot.
Well, Jordan Love, overrated.
That's just objectively speaking.
Hey,
He
let's
is-
just throw this out there real quick. Since Chase brought it up. Patrick Mahomes the last 3 seasons. Completion percentage 67, 67, 62. Yards 4,100, 3,900, 3,500. Touchdowns 27, 26, 22. Interceptions 14, 11, 11.
I would argue that Patrick Mahomes
overrated.
takes. Hey,
Definitely.
I will agree. I will actually agree because people put him on a pedestal and he is great, but he's not as great as everybody thinks.
But he's
Regardless,
really good in
extends
crunch time.
plays. He makes it happen when it shouldn't happen. Jordan Love doesn't do any of that. The stats don't convert in this statistic.
They don't tell the whole story.
They don't.
Jordan Love has been decided overrated.
Yep.
Robert, you're up first. Dak
Robert.
Prescott.
Ooh, yes.
He loves the Cowboys. He does.
You're not going to find a bigger Cowboys fan than Robert.
Dude.
That's America's team.
I live in Texas. I have a lot to say.
It's our year, guys. It's our year. Dude, if I had $1 for every time I've heard that, I'd just be like, I could retire probably. The Cowboys are overrated. Dak Prescott is overrated. There's nothing about the Cowboys organization that says that, hey, we're actually a good fucking team. Like, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna get off my soapbox because we could be on that forever. Overrated. Let's move on.
Oh, overrated. Cody.
Agreed.
Oh, Chase jumped in. Chase, he's overrated. Why?
Well, you want to talk about Jordan Love not having any weapons, right? Does anybody have more weapons than Dak Prescott? Anyone? Please? You have
Chase
the
gets
best 2 receivers in the fucking league. And you can't make the playoffs? He's got some blackmail on Jerry Jones. The thing is, Dak is like the opposite of we were just talking about him on the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. I'm telling Caleb to get me more whiskey. So Jalen Hurts, right? That dude steps up when the lights are bright. Dak Prescott takes a fat dump under the lights. He has all the weapons in the world. And he can't get it done. Overrated. Rant over.
Cody?
You know what? I'm going against the tide here. I'm going to say he's underrated because Dak puts up numbers. Numbers don't lie. And yes, he does have all the weapons in the world. But the times he's been balling out, it's because he had to. He didn't have the defense was a leaking faucet, just letting people score at will on them. So he had to go put up numbers, and he has always been consistent in the fantasy world, always putting up numbers, except for 2024 where he got hurt. But he has put up number and the 3 of the past 5 years have been over 4,500 in yards. And I believe he's been in the top 3 in yards thrown. And then I believe on passing, he's 3 touchdowns to every interception. Those are good numbers.
It's a good ratio.
A good ratio. So I would say he's slightly underrated. If he had a good defense behind him, they may be good. But that defense sucks.
Caleb?
You average 30 a game and you still lose. It's not on you. Regardless of what kind of performance people want to say you may or may not have had. You throw up 30 a game and you're losing still, you did what you were supposed to do. I would argue, yeah, I think I would. I would argue that Dak and Stafford are in that upper tier, along with the 4 big names that everybody likes to bring up. So no, he's nowhere close to overrated.
Pinky, you're the deciding vote here.
He is underrated by a wide margin.
My man is blowing my top today. What is happening right now?
Let's
Cheers,
go!
good sir.
Elk froze over.
Well, I'm also ready to go root for him in November, so I'm ready.
My man's wearing an 88 Urban.
Let's go.
From the U, baby. From the U. Let's
You
go.
and I cannot wear that.
No. We can,
Do what?
I'm just telling Chase that him and I cannot wear that jersey.
Hey, boys, let me ask you this question real quick. If Dak Prescott doesn't have 2 of the best receivers in the league to catch the balls that he just hooks up there for him to catch because they're the best, does he put up those numbers?
Yeah.
If he has Jordan Love's receiving core, is he the same quarterback that we're talking about? I don't think so. He's
All
been
right.
bailed out by incredible
All right,
receivers.
hold up. Pinky, when did CeeDee Lamb come into the league?
He was with Jerry Jeudy and Justin Jefferson, so that's what,
I believe he's in
2019 or
year
2020?
six.
Bama.
Okay.
Year 6, yep. Year 6 or 7.
His
I think it was
first year in the
2020.
league. First year in the league, 3,600 yards. Second year in the league, 3,300. Third year, 38. Fourth year, 2019, he threw for 4,900. 2020, he broke his ankle or dislocated it, whatever that was.
Yep,
So,
that was that
low.
Giants game.
Comes back 4,400. Another season hurt, 28. Comes back 4,500. Another season hurt, 1,900. Comes back 2025, 4,500. So when he doesn't have weapons, he's sitting middle of the road-ish, if you will. When he does have weapons, he's putting up elite numbers.
But let's just call it like it is. If the Cowboys have ever had a complete team while he's been playing, we wouldn't be having this conversation. He'd be considered elite.
Complete as in a decent defense.
Defense, sometimes the running game's not been great previously.
Sure.
You know, they had Tony Pollard, who was fine, but not amazing. Go back to Tony Romo. It's kind of the same thing. Tony Romo's underrated. Tony Romo could sling that ball, and he would have balled out with a consistent football team around him. So
All day.
when they have had consistent teams, like Dak Prescott's first year, where he had Zeke, and I think that was still Dez, and they murdered everybody. And Dez caught that ball in Green Bay.
Dez caught the ball.
He's underrated, and we're going to leave it at that. We're going to move on. I think we got some interesting ones here. Let's do one more veteran before we get to some of the young guys on the list. Brock Purdy. Cody.
He's a veteran?
Technically.
5
Yeah.
years? Wow.
Yeah.
Man, time
You
flies
know,
when you're
He
having
signed a second contract. He's a veteran.
You know,
fair.
probably the 49ers are probably on my most annoying fan base lists. And just to ruffle feathers, I always say Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. You know, he's good, but he's not elite in my opinion. I wouldn't call him overrated. He's as advertised.
Okay? That's all we're asking. Is he overrated?
He is not overrated.
All right.
And But I believe if you put him on a different team, we may be having a different conversation. Because I do think it's a combination of play calling and throwing the ball on time like any other offense.
And I would listen
And the
and have
electrical
that
field
conversation.
interference. And the electrical field interference, Cody. Don't forget that.
He's been pretty immune to that outside that shoulder injury. But yeah, like I said, I feel like he's a system quarterback. He's a great system quarterback, and I would have him on my team if my offense was the way that Niners offense is.
Yeah, I don't think
So
he would do
I
well
would
with
say-
your team.
What was that?
He wouldn't
think
do
he-
well with your team. 'cause
No,
they
no, he
couldn't
would
block
not.
more.
Yeah, no.
Oh, dude, Bobby Boucher wouldn't let anyone touch him.
Chase, is he overrated?
No.
He is not
No,
overrated.
Mr. Irrelevant is not
Robert?
irrelevant.
He is
As
relevant now.
advertised, as Cody said.
Caleb?
No, absolutely not. He's. I think he is right at the upper echelon of that second tier. The man's processing capability is second to none in the league, I believe. His ball placement is second to none. He may not have the same physical athletic gifts that some of the other top tier guys do, but he can still extend the plays and move around in the pocket. And I've said this before, and I will continue to say this about this man. If he had come out a year earlier, if I'm remembering correctly, if he had come out a year earlier, he would have been a second or third round pick.
I heard the same thing, Caleb. I was
Some
just
even
about to
had a
say
first
that.
round grade on him, if I'm remembering correctly, coming out of Iowa State.
Yep.
He went back, and we all know what happened from there. The NFL's fickle. You go back after the year everybody's got a high grade on you, you will 9 times out of 10 watch that draft grade plummet. Never fails, happens every time. You can say system quarterback, you can say that if it wasn't for Shanahan, but what I believe he is the epitome of a game manager. And when I say game manager on this show, between us, that is a term of endearment, not a negative. You should want a true game manager as your quarterback because that means they're doing exactly what they're supposed to, delivering the ball where it's supposed to go on time and allowing your weapons to make plays. That is what a quarterback should do. A quarterback is the point guard of the offense, and their job is to elevate everybody around them and put the ball in the hands when it needs to be there. And I'm not sure there's anybody better in the league, given what he's had to deal with in San Francisco, than Brock Purdy.
Not overrated.
Not overrated. Sounds like we can
Not
all agree on
overrated.
that one.
The 2027 Madden cover. Caleb Williams. The hype train is moving. Rawr.
Pinky, did you get your nails painted with that too, or like?
Bear down. Bear down.
Wow, can we clip that and just share it?
Yeah, we
Please?
clipping it. We clipping it and
Everywhere.
posted it to TikTok.
Oh, God, I hope
Share
that
it
is up, Bill.
Everywhere, please.
That
Get
needs to
us
be
on
shared
ESPN.
for sure.
Get us on ESPN. Something. Oh my God. Wow, that happened, ladies and gentlemen, and that's forever burned in my memory.
They don't even speak
Talking
for that.
about-
Too good. Too good.
Well, we do it raw. You start, Pinky.
Well, because Caleb was doing this, and he's with the Bears. Rawr.
Dang.
I thought it made sense. Sorry, guys.
Dude, I just
It
wasn't
did.
expecting it from you.
I surprise you every once in a while.
Oh, I love you, man.
Oh,
That was
my
good.
gosh.
I'm gonna say
Great night.
if we're
Just
going
end it.
on
Just
if
end
we're,
it here.
if
Show's
we're going
over.
off
Yeah.
of the first 3 quarters, Caleb is absolutely overrated. And the fourth quarter, the guy's elite. But his football in the first 3 quarters has left something to be desired. And until he gets that fixed, he's overrated.
Let let me throw this out there before we give our votes on this. And Pinky, feel free if this affects that vote, please feel free to change it then.
Nope.
That's fine. Are you considering him a top 10 quarterback right now?
No.
So if we're saying he's not at that level yet, what moves him to the overrated given he's only had 2 years in the league?
The hype train says he's in the top 10. The hype behind him right now is high.
Okay.
If you talk if you watch any morning football stuff, Bears, Caleb Williams, like it's there, man. He's on the Madden. Like the hype's out there, which is why it's a topic.
I feel you. The hype is definitely there. So then let me follow up with this, and then we can move into our voting. But do you feel then he is incapable of living up to the hype? I'm not worried if the hype's justified or not right now. Do you feel he's incapable of living up to the hype?
No, I think he can absolutely get there. He's got to play better football. Like when he's in the fourth quarter, I don't know what flip switches. In the fourth quarter, the guy's elite. In the fourth quarter, he is a top 10 quarterback.
So given everything
he looks really bad.
Given everything he's been through since he came into the league and what he's dealt with, I would have to say he's not overrated. I think the hype is justified because the hype is based on the potential we've seen. And so given the potential we've seen, and I agree with you, Pinky, I think he can live up to that, I would not say he's overrated. But again, I'm not saying he's a top 10 quarterback right now either. I think the potential is there to be such, and I think he's shown enough flashes.
That's why there's a conversation. The hype is saying
I agree. I'm not saying the conversation is unwarranted. I'm just trying to give you my perspective of why I would say he's not overrated at this point. I think he's only been in the league 2 years. I think the fact that we saw the growth last year with an actual offensive coordinator and play caller and some protection and weapons. Were there low points? Hell yeah, there were. Were there high points? Hell yeah, they were. Was it very inconsistent? Absolutely. But I believe the direction he's moving is into that elite level. And so I would have a hard time calling him overrated because I think the hype is justified because the hype is based on what the potential can be, not what he's already done.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. You know, he has been in the league a pretty limited time. He has given Bears Nation, some excitement. And like you said, Pinky, the guy balls out in the fourth quarter. If he can figure out how to start the game that way, we're not having this discussion. But he's still finding ways to win. And we talk about the guys rising to the occasion under the lights. Sure, he didn't play great the first few quarters, but he found a way to get it done. Do I think he is at the height of all this hype right now? Yeah, I do, and I think this is going to be his year to kind of prove it. But the trajectory, the trend, it's there. Can he do it? That's the question. Can fourth quarter Caleb show up at the beginning of the game? That's really what it is. I think he's right where he should be. I don't think he's overrated, underrated. I think he's a very good quality player. This discussion isn't if he's a top 10 quarterback or not. If it's overrated or underrated, I don't think he's overrated.
All right.
Keep in mind the name doesn't fail either. I'm just going to make sure everybody knows that. The name does not fail.
I do see the hype around him, and I totally understand where everyone's coming from. I really think he's going to live up to that hype this year with the weapons he has around him in Loveland, Burden, Odunze, Swift and Manganai out of the backfield.
Manganai.
Yeah.
It's like a bacterial infection.
Yeah. And So my vote is he is not overrated. You know, I think
Caleb,
he's gonna have the year that everyone's expecting.
Robert,
I mean, it's been a Johnson offense. They seem to really mesh well last season, and I'm really terrified of it because that's gonna mean the Lions are gonna suck probably, and I'm sad. So, I think Caleb Williams is currently underrated and is gonna actually show how elite he is this season.
that's great because nobody cares what you think.
I know.
The votes were already in. It's fine. Sorry.
I know.
It was already 3 votes for not overrated, so he's not
Pinky,
overrated.
you ain't on my level if you're gonna pull that line.
I tried. Okay. I tried.
Y'all are funny.
I pulled the rock on him last week. I let him start talking. I said, "Nobody cares what you think," and I shut him down.
It was amazing. It was epic.
Drake May. Chase.
This is a difficult one for me. Mostly for personal reasons. Drake May is not overrated. He got it done when he needed to get it done. As a Broncos fan, it's easy to hate him and easy to say that we should have been in the Super Bowl over him had Bo Nix not hurt himself. But at the same time, Drake May got him there. He showed up. He performed when he needed to. And again, he performed in a system that fit him very well. Not overrated. Dude gets it done when he needs to. I hate it, but it is what it is.
Robert.
I don't think he's overrated. I just don't.
Not overrated.
I think he's gonna be just again top notch, and it's sad to say it, but the Patriots are gonna be good again.
Cody.
You know, he is not overrated, and I think he's gonna get even better. Because come to think of it, his offensive line wasn't great. He didn't have a number one receiver, and now he has a number one receiver. Watch him put up bigger numbers.
Caleb. Not that our votes matter at this point, but your thoughts on Drake May?
He played the easiest schedule out of anybody last year. Got to the Super Bowl on a fluke. Did not play well at all during the playoffs last season. And the hype around him is absurd. And people want to give all these points to claim that he is about to digress. And they're absolutely wrong. Like, and we talked about this last year a bunch. You can only play who's on your schedule. And you can only do so much to change an opinion when people believe you're playing an easy schedule. He threw for like 4,200 yards last year.
Yep.
He had 30-something touchdowns. He had like 10 interceptions. I didn't pull them up. I'm just kind of running these off the top of my head if I'm remembering it. He had like a 63% completion percentage, I believe. How can you say he's overrated when he won the games he was supposed to win and then continued to put up numbers at the same time? This wasn't Tom Brady his first couple years where the defense was carrying him. This was the reason they continued to win the games and move on the way in which they did. Now, you want to say come playoffs, he didn't perform up to the level that he needed to? When he finally played good defenses, he didn't play well? Okay, fine. I'm not going to argue that because they're true to an extent. The problem is then you're only taking in part of the story. The rest of that story would be what everybody else just said. He didn't quite have a receiving core he could trust with a true number one. He didn't have an offensive line playing well. The run game was continuously hit or miss all season, which made no sense because both backs can ball. So if you're going to say he's overrated, I'm going to need more than an easy schedule.
I have his stats up, Caleb. You want to hear them?
Yeah. I want to say it was 4,500, but I thought I might have been a little high on that.
It's a little under 4,400 yards, 31 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. His passer rating was 113.5.
What was his completion percentage?
Completion percentage. 1 second, sorry. His completion percentage was 72%.
Oh, that was way off. That's absurd. And I don't want to hear that, well, he threw most of them behind the line of scrimmage. You don't throw enough behind the line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage in the NFL to say that's where your completion percentage came from. Does it help? Yes.
And he
but
averaged 4.4 rushing yards per carry with additional 4 scores.
And he's not a scrambler. Those are good numbers.
Yep. He had 450 yards on the ground.
I don't know why he was on. I don't know why he was on the list that he was on.
Well, there's a reason. There's a reason why
overrated.
he was MVP runner-up last year. Got the kid balled out.
And he's a young
he
cat.
did.
You know, just like we discussed with some of these other quarterbacks, like he is early in his career. He's going to keep trajecting.
Yep.
In my opinion, not overrated.
And last, but not least, God bless Bo Nix.
I love to talk about this one, but I feel like considering the panel that we have here, it's going to be very biased.
Cody,
whatever do you mean?
you're an honorary Broncos fan, but you're a Texans fan, so
Yes, I'm
I'll
a
let you go
Texans
first.
fan. He's not overrated. The kid's a baller. And if he didn't bust his ankle, the Broncos would be Super Bowl champions.
Amen.
Oh.
Bold, and I love it.
Go.
Bold take, Cotton. See if it pays off for him.
And
Just kidding.
I feel like he's gonna come back with a vengeance, and just come out swinging.
You know, I think he's a very quick learner. We've talked about this a little bit more, that, you know, quarterbacks that are in a certain scheme fits them really well. You know, Bo Nix running Sean Payton's offense, like, he gets it. He gets it. He understands it. And he's a young player, just like a lot of these other players we talked about. Drake May, like, these guys are just, they're on an upward trajectory. And, you know, Bo Nix, he did have a decent receiving core. And maybe I'm biased with that. But I think
that's
in this
being
offseason,
very biased. He's previously, his receiving core has been lower tier. Outside.
I mean, I'll agree with that to a point. Courtland Sutton, you plug him into any team with a good passing scheme, he's going to be the wide receiver one everywhere he goes, right? Can we argue that? I mean, Courtland Sutton is a beast.
He's a good 50-50.
And I know we're not talking about him here. I'm just saying, I feel like you plug him into a lot of other teams, he's the wide receiver one. He's not a CeeDee Lamb, sure. But, you know, you send him to Arizona, you send him to Las Vegas, you send him to a lot of these other places, he's the wide receiver one. And it's not even close. So, sure, he's not an AJ Brown or you know, a CD, but he's still a beast. He's a huge target with some great hands that can go and make plays. So, to my point of him having a decent receiving core, having that chemistry with like a Troy Franklin, like he had that there, but he didn't need to force it, go there. He was very smart. And that's because of the scheme he's in with Sean Payton. It's like, check it down, man. Find this, find that. He's not trying to rush anything. He's a very smart player. I don't know the stats, but turnover, interception-wise, I would guess it's under 10. No? Caleb, I see you shaking his...
He needs to cut down on the turnovers a little bit.
Last season?
Needs to cut down on the turnovers a little bit.
How many interceptions we have last season? We
I
got a
believe
stat,
there was
man?
12.
12? Still not bad. How many touchdowns?
Last year, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year.
Okay.
His rookie year, he
I like
had
that.
29 and 12.
Even better.
So
And
I know. Oh, go ahead.
Last year, he had 3,900 yards. His rookie year, he had 3,700 yards.
Robert, what say you?
He's not overrated. Dude's
Overrated. It's easy.
He's a baller.
Caleb,
You ready for the pew 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 take, Pinky? You ready?
Oh my goodness.
I'm ready.
Oh, here we
I want
go.
one now.
Kick him off right now. Remove him.
Here's the pew 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 take, Pinky, the hot take. Sean Payton's holding him back. And you want evidence of that? Go look at Sean Payton's play call on 4th and 1 last year in the AFC Championship game.
He didn't play the AFC Championship game.
I know Bo Nix didn't play the AFC Championship game. I'm talking about Sean Payton's play call.
Yeah, but I don't know if we can even count that against
Just
him in that
hear me out.
moment.
Hear me out. That play call is a microcosm for me of what I've been trying to explain about Sean Payton, and I haven't quite been able to put my finger on for a long time. And it was one of my gripes when he was hired. And I said, I think the game has kind of passed him by in a way, right? That play call told me that Bo Nix is swimming upstream a little bit. I agreed with the decision to go for it on 4th and 1. I had no issues with going for it there. I hated the play call. And even Sean Payton came out and said he changed his mind and went with the wrong play call. Second guessed himself, whatever you want to say. He made the wrong decision. You want to say he's too smart for his own good, whatever things you want to come up with to justify it, fine. But I believe that happens consistently throughout a season. And if that's consistently happening throughout a season, you're putting your team in bad positions or bad scenarios at unopportune times. And if that's what your quarterback is dealing with, his numbers are going to be affected. So I actually believe, to an extent, Sean Payton is actually holding Bo Nix back a little bit from being more elite.
Caleb, let me ask you this. On that 4th and 1 call, do you think had it been Bo Nix under center instead of Jared Stidham, that the call would have been different?
No, I think he would have put the ball in the quarterback's hands still. And I think it would have been the wrong call. You run that ball. You pick a run play that runs up A or B gap. I don't care which one. You're not trying to run it wide. You're not trying to go outside. You're not trying to throw the ball. You are running that ball, especially with that offensive line and what you had in a run game. Now, J.K. Dobbins wasn't there, and I understand that. It's 1 yard. And I will forever never change this stance. If you have 1 yard to go and you don't believe your team can run the ball for 1 yard, you don't go for that. Period. End of story. But with that offensive line, there should have been no reason 1 yard was not capable.
Tell us Pete Carroll and the Seahawks.
Wow.
Good thing you guys got Davis Webb calling plays next year. So
Right.
True.
Look, Bo Nix haters will hate this, but there's one quarterback that's led the league the last 2 seasons, and if you look at the numbers, Bo Nix over the last 2 seasons has the most passing yards and the most total touchdowns. And those are facts.
Wait. Say that again?
He has the most total yards and the most total touchdowns of
Over
any quarterback.
What period of time?
The last 2 years. He's only played 2 years.
No, hold up. That can only be for his draft class.
No. Well, it's the whole every quarterback that played. Mahomes the last 2 seasons, his numbers are better. Stafford the last 2 years, his numbers are better.
There is no way.
It is.
There is no way Knicks has the most total yards and touchdowns over the last 2 years of any
Google it.
quarterback.
You got a computer in front of you. It's true.
There's absolutely no way that's true.
That is true.
For his draft class, I would believe that. I would not believe that for the.
Well, again, it's only factoring in 2 seasons. The last 2 seasons.
I get that. I'm following you. I just have a very hard time believing that it's not just for his draft class. Anybody checking the stat? Anyone?
I'm looking. One second.
Just so I can show you.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page. That one would blow my mind because I have not seen that. We all know I'm pretty good with numbers.
Over the last 2 seasons, Jared Goff has the most yards. Bo Nix is at 5.
Total. That's including rushing yards.
Stand by.
I mean, I can start doing the math if I need to and just looking at it. But that you're obviously combining rushing yards and passing yards.
That was the stat that was that I didn't just pull that out of my ass. That was a stat that was on one of the shows.
That would blow my mind. I've seen the stuff where he's got the top for his draft class. I have not seen anything that says for the league. We're working on it, Jamar. We'll find out. Is there, while we've got Statman looking this up for us, Peaky, is there another guy we got to look at?
That was it. Bo Nix was the last guy, and we got some nonsense. So
let's do some nonsense. We'll try to get an answer.
Yeah,
to
it's
this
actually
we have 7 minutes of nonsense.
It's actually we got Matt Stafford leading the way. Most touchdowns is Matt Stafford. So Caleb was right. Way to pull the wool over our eyes, Pinky.
I'm not. I think, Pinky. I think you just might have misheard, or.
But out of the rookie class,
out of the rookie class, I know
he is the best. Yes.
Yep. I read the same thing Pinky did a couple of days ago, and I think we just got to find the article of what we're actually talking about.
I got to find my graphic. I saw it.
He's got it. I saw it too. So, yeah, maybe it's something else.
And again, total touchdowns, because when you add in his rushing touchdowns, I think he has more than Stafford.
I didn't look that
hard.
But let's talk some nonsense. And I will keep looking.
Robert's got a couple good topics we were discussing. I want to see which one he picked because both of them were entertaining. And I want to dive into these. So if we go a little over tonight, I don't really care.
So I do want to start off with this first. Before we go in with the one that I originally brought up here, Caleb. So we all know Avengers Doomsday is coming December 18th, but there's also been this talk that they're re-releasing Avengers Endgame, and that the Russo brothers have stated that this is quote-unquote required viewing for Doomsday. Well, the runtime was revealed, and it's only adding 4 minutes. That's it. For this whole connection, and apparently forgetting a majority of this whole phase that happened after Endgame. So I'm really confused as to why I'd want to go to the theater and see 4 additional minutes. I don't see why that is really worth it. And I've dedicated a good majority of my life to this whole freaking movie franchise. I just don't get it. I'm really at a loss. Like, why wouldn't you want to do like a short little like Disney special or something like that? I feel like you'd get more people watching it.
Oh.
But I don't know. That's what I wanted to to throw out there first because I saw that had come out, so I wanted some of your guys' input before we got to the other topics there.
I mean, an end credit scene is upwards of maybe 30 seconds. You're telling me you get 8 of those.
They just
I
want
would
your
say
money.
there could be some major plot introductions, twists, additions within that 4 minutes.
Let me see here.
It's all about the money.
So the Thunderbolt scene was 3 minutes long.
I was talking on average, fine. There are some with, but I'm surprised to hear you say that, given the fact that there could be a decent amount of exposure to whatever they're trying to add within simply 4 minutes. They could rewrite an entire storyline within a 4-minute segment.
I mean, true. And if that 4 minutes changes the entirety of how I felt after Endgame, that's really saying something. Because Endgame was not a great movie. It was not. So that's why I'm like, do I really want to go put myself in a movie theater for this again? I have it at home for 4 minutes. Am I really going to put myself into that position?
Well, the question then becomes, is it worth $15?
I mean, I have free tickets. That's not the part of it.
Well, then, in that case, it seems like it's a pretty clear answer.
Just don't understand why they're making it like, I would have rather them do a Disney special. Done like a whole cool Doomsday thing with that. Like they're doing a Vision and stuff. I feel like they could have been.
I mean, let's be honest, Robert.
With that.
That's
a cash grab.
And to say anything other than what I'm about to say, I think would be nothing but throwing a lie right in the fans' faces.
True.
They're doing revisionist history. They're rewriting history because of the mistakes they've made, and they have no choice but to go back and add to what they've already done.
Okay. I've got the facts.
Oh,
okay, because I do too. I was just waiting, but let's hear it.
He's got the most yards of any AFC player and the most touchdowns.
Yeah, because Stafford's got 66 touchdowns. He has 64 over the last 2 years. I didn't do the yards yet.
It was AFC leaders, so that's where I saw it. Continue, Robert.
So yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time feeling like 4 minutes is really going to change the whole dynamic of that movie for what Doomsday is supposed to be bringing.
Hey man, you know my couch is always ready for some quality viewing entertainment that isn't involving a theater. So you tell me what we need to do.
I don't know. I'm sure. Honestly, like if I just give it 2 days, not even that, maybe even 12 hours, the added footage will be released online, and I'll just watch it that way.
I ain't even worried about the added footage. I'll just throw Infinity War and Endgame together, watch them all in one, and then go watch Doomsday.
Well,
you ain't putting out a new popcorn bucket. My man ain't coming. Just keep that in mind, Marvel.
No, they did. I sent it. I sent it in the group chat. It's the
I missed that.
The Hulk gauntlet and then the Iron Man mask that says "I love you 3000."
Then what are we even talking about? This dude's showing up. Regardless of what he says, this dude is showing up. There's a new popcorn bucket.
You ain't wrong.
No,
Caleb.
I'm
You're
waiting
lying to yourself. Come on now, you lying to yourself.
I'll do the Dune one when it comes out in December. We'll see what the Doomsday bucket is, but I will definitely do the Dune one for sure.
You know what they should do, Robert? Just make it a Marvel one shot.
I told you what's happening, Pinky. I have a 2:10 a.m. showing for Dune Part 3 at IMAX, and then 8 a.m. for Doomsday. 2:10 to 8 a.m. I have a
my ass would be taking a nap in the theater.
Yeah, there's no way I'm making it through that.
Real.
No, I'm probably snoring, probably like an hour into Dune, you know?
So it's a good thing that I've did it.
And no offense to like that it's a bad movie, just I don't think I could make it, you know?
Right.
I'm totally out on that, man. I had a hard enough time at a 10:40 showing of the Odyssey.
He pulls his hat lower to say that.
Yep.
It was tough, man. I was battling. I took a 5-minute power nap though. and I pushed through.
There
All right,
you go.
what's the real nonsense topic,
All
Robert?
right, so the one that I really wanted to is the one that I posted earlier, Caleb, is to, we've had some time to digest it, still sticking with the Marvel thing, is if you were in the position and in the room with everybody and the Sokovia Accords happened, would you be Team Captain America or Team Iron Man, and why?
Cap. It's not even a question.
Right.
I don't even have to think about it. I don't even have to worry about it. It's Cap. And it's such an easy answer. Because when you get government control into anything, shit hits
corruption.
the fan. Absolutely hits the fan. So you're going to tell me that you can't do what they're doing, and because of that, you need to have oversight. I'm out. Power
They're
trying to
dropping
control
buildings
power,
left
and
and
I'm
right.
never going to be okay with it.
But they drop buildings left and right. How do you
Hey.
make them answer for that?
You know what?
Why should they have to answer for it? They controlled a threat with minimal damage
Hey,
Tony
in the
created
grand
it.
scheme of things.
hey,
You
10
bring in the
people-
U.S. Army, you bring in the UN, you bring in anybody else you want, and that situation goes 1,000 times worse. I'm not playing these games. I'm not stupid. You're telling me we have superheroes that can take care of things, and you want to control it because you're incapable? I'm out.
But they caused the destruction.
Hey, in any disaster, we lose lives. It is what happens. We can lose 10 lives because they took down a couple buildings, or we can lose 10,000 because they didn't show up. What do you want?
I'll take it a step further, Robert, because this is something you and I had broached, and we've got a topic we're working on with this already. Go over to The Incredibles. I know it's animated and all this and that, but let's go over to The Incredibles. What was the primary plot line there? It was the government wanting to get rid of superheroes and tell them to do nothing because had you done nothing, we have insurance to cover the damages and the losses. Basically what they're saying is we're okay with getting our asses handed to us and then just fixing it afterwards. We don't want to actually stop the threat. We just want to mitigate the threat. That is ridiculous thought processing to me.
But superheroes disappeared and supervillains disappeared, and everyone lived in harmony. So technically, it worked.
Evil does not stop, ever. You know my favorite quote? I won't say it's my favorite, but it is one of my favorite. Good things happen when, or bad things happen when good men do nothing.
Sure. I completely agree with that. Interesting. Okay. I was just curious where you guys fell on that.
Are we all
You're
Team
awfully
Cap?
quiet.
Anybody
I am
Iron Man?
I am Team Cap.
Yeah, that's not even a question.
That's it. There was no.
I never knew. We've never talked about it, so it's always
I'll just
interesting
say
to know.
guilty by association. Because I was gonna go Iron Man.
No, I mean
And
I
I
walk
just
both sides. Like
Won't
I
tell you
there are
guys that
days-
I've never seen Captain America.
What?
That's okay.
I
It's
didn't
okay.
say anything.
You didn't see Civil War?
Huh?
I don't watch very many movies.
I'll work on this on the back end, fellas. Just move on.
It's okay. I thought I lived
mean-
under a rock. I'm glad there's someone else under a rock with me.
I've seen the first Iron Man.
Oh, God damn it.
That was 20 years ago.
I got
Oh,
kids,
man.
bro. I don't watch movies.
That's fair.
And if I do, they're in The Incredibles. I can talk about that one.
Heck yeah.
I mean, arguably the best superhero movie that's been made in the last 20 years. So, I mean, if I'll put any movie against it, I still think it's the best one.
Just for you.
Look, let's take it a step further. What, in my opinion at least, maybe I'm wrong, but in my opinion, I would say the only reason Iron Man, our boy RDJ, Mr. Tony Stark himself, even remotely considered and then ended up agreeing to such accords was out of sheer guilt. It had nothing to do with right or wrong or good versus evil or what he believed to be the right thing. He made the decision out of pure guilt.
Because he was responsible for dropping a building on the guy. He created Ultron. That's his fault.
I'll get behind Captain America just on that argument. There you go.
Don't worry.
Unanimous.
Don't worry. Chase is rolling with us whether he likes it or
there you
not. I
go.
promise you.
No, I mean, that's all I had for nonsense, other than the last thing is we lost a super awesome American today, Dolly Parton. May she rest in peace forever. That the world is a worser place without her. I'll honestly say that. She was an amazing human.
I'll throw out there, if you don't know of it or you haven't seen it, start watching The Orville.
Oh
The
my gosh,
Orville.
she's so good.
Seth MacFarlane. It's a fabulous show. Star Trek related, if you will. But there is an episode where Dolly Parton is very heavily featured. And it is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Solid.
Great TV show. It's even better than Star Trek.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've come to that point in time on a Tuesday where we must say adieu. And with that, we need final thoughts. Pinky, start us off.
Wow. Hey, fantasy football players, make sure as we get into the last 2 weeks of draft season, know your league rules, know your scoring settings, do your research, be prepared. Don't get caught off guard.
Cody?
You know, I love Tuesdays, all because of you fellas. You know, this is the highlight of the week, and then it's just like, great, what do I do with myself? But luckily, we got football now. You know, hockey is hockey training camp's in a few weeks. Heck, I've even been watching golf. You know, there's lots of sports going on.
The next championship starting tomorrow, baby.
You know, so I appreciate you fellas like always, and that's all I got.
Had a great time with friends and family this weekend. Had a bunch of people over for F1. That was awesome. And then had some unfortunate news, but glad that he's okay. So Andy, glad you're home and you're doing better, buddy. We love you. Glad you're getting the help and support you need. We're always here for you, and you're glad you're listening. And we love you, buddy. Appreciate you. That's all I got.
Closing thoughts. Bo Nix is not overrated, and
That sounded more like a horror movie.
Oh. All right. I'm excited for football season. It's coming up quick. Enjoy it. It always seems to go by too fast, but college football starts Saturday, NFL right behind it. Let us know what you're thinking. Give us some thoughts. Give us some topics. We've had plenty of discussion here recently, and I absolutely love it. So continue to participate with us, if you will. Again, man, we're trying to do things a little bit differently. We're trying to change the way in which these conversations can happen. We're trying to make conversation and debate something that, you should walk away with, whether you agree or disagree, still respecting the fact that somebody was able to formulate their own opinion based on whatever facts and knowledge they have. There's no reason to call somebody names. There's no reason to make it personal or put them down. You don't agree, you don't agree. But that's what we're trying to do. Make things a little bit different. We will make sure we get that clip cut, and we will post that for the world to see.
Let's go.
On that note, make sure you cherish those moments with your loved ones, family, friends, inner circle, whoever you consider that to be. Do not take those opportunities for granted. Cherish them and jump on them at every opportunity. Appreciate all of you. Hit all the buttons. Like, follow, share, support, please. We cannot thank you enough. Until next week. Peace.
Broncos country, yeah, you know how we do. Hot takes so wild, you remember the name. From college ball to the pros, Caleb spitting game. Robert here, the pop culture plug. From comics to racing, pour the drink in the mug. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, yeah, bold talk. Good laughs and a glass in the air. Sports, nonsense and whiskey, right? Kick back, tune in, take a wild side.